Good evening, viewers, and welcome to another exciting episode of the Men's Lounge, coming to you live from the studios of eTVGhana and courtesy Casapreco Alomobites and Yumvita, that is also coming from Promasidor. It's one of the products they have that you should try sometime, especially for the kids. It's really good for the kids. And so I would also want to urge you to be part of this show on all our social media platforms, Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, at eTVGhana. You can also start sending your comments or your text or your questions through our WhatsApp number, which is 020-2222-054. I repeat, 020-2222-054. Later in the show, we would also open the phone lines. I probably will announce the phone lines now, and then later again I'll mention it. So it's 0555-657278. I repeat, 0555-657278. You might be wondering what we'll be discussing today, and we're going to be talking financial independence. How do you get there? How do you attain financial independence? This is going to be very personalized because we have somebody in the studio who will give us, should I say all the information? I'm sure, yeah, he's got everything to tell us. And so when we get there, I'll introduce him, I'll tell you where he's from, and then we can shoot from there. But before we go on our first break, I have some information for you. And so, I did mention the other time, last week, that June, the month of June has been dedicated for a financial month for all the global media platforms, ETV, YFM, Happy FM. We're talking finance. And so when you tune in, you get a lot of tidbits on all your financial issues, and you're likely to have all your problems, or let's say your questions, answered. And so June is the financial literacy month on eTVGhana, Happy FM, and YFM. Tune in to all our shows to learn more about budgeting, saving, financial inclusions, and how to invest your hard-earned money. Kudi, how to invest it is very important. Be more informed about how e-money can make payments easier for you through the use of various online and mobile money platforms. I'm sure you've been hearing those fraudulent guys also. You need to watch them. However, that shouldn't deter you. You need to learn about all these things. So it is the Financial Literacy Month on eTVGhana this June. For sponsorship, please call or WhatsApp 020-2222-059 or 020-2222-095 or 0242-884571. This is being brought to you also by Consolidated Bank Ghana. So I'm sure you know the Ghana Beverage Awards, the Casapreco and the rest, yeah. So there's an award that happens. And so join the Global Media Alliance group live broadcast on eTVGhana and GBA Facebook Live as we recognize and reward outstanding companies in the beverage industry. The date, take note, the date is on the 13th of June, 2020. So 13 June 2020, and the time is 6 p.m. Who wins the Spirit Beer CSR Company Local Beverage of the Year or Manufacturing Company of the Year, amongst others? Also, I have for you a concept that I need to talk to you about. I'm sure you already know because the first one has been done, and this is the webinar concept. And so Global Media Alliance presents its second webinar series on the topic, the impact of COVID-19 on the event and hospitality industries. Join Akwesi Ajiman, CEO of the Ghana Tourism Authority, Bella Ahun, President, Ghana Tourism Federation, Ernest Boatin, CEO, Global Media Alliance Group, and Mrs. Theresa Ayode, co-founder and executive director, Multiple Concepts Group. I'm sure you know Charterhouse. When you hear that name, you know it's associated to Charterhouse. As they share insights and ideas on the future of the event and hospitality industries and how to take advantage of the new normal. Happening on Friday, June 12, which happens to be tomorrow. Okay, so it's happening tomorrow, June 12, 2020 at 10 o'clock a.m. On that note, remember, the repeat for this program will be at 9 o'clock tomorrow because this show or this seminar will be at 10 o'clock. And so the webinar will be held via Zoom and also broadcast live on eTVGhana and GTV, the nation's television. You can also register now on www.gmaworld.com. For more details, contact 020-2222-096. Media partners are eTVGhana, GTV, Happy FM, and YFM. On this note, we're going to go on our first break. When we're back, I'll introduce my guest and the topic again, and then we can move on. Please stay tuned. So welcome back. If you're just joining us, we are in the men's lounge, coming to you live all the way from the studios of eTVGhana. So I did mention earlier that the month of June has been dedicated to talk money, talk finance, you know, all the things about savings, investment, e-money and everything. We've dedicated the month of June to do that. And today we'll be discussing how to become financially independent. How to become financially independent. And in the studio with me today, I have a financial analyst, and he also happens to be the managing director for EDC Investments. He is in the name of Paul Kofi Mante. Paul.
Hi.
Akwaba.
Yeah.
You know, we do this lately. Good to see you, man. It's been a while.
Yeah.
So you're here today because we want to talk money.
Yeah.
And when it's time to talk money, it's obvious we need to look out for the people who talk money better or even best.
Yeah.
And that's hence the reason why we have you here with me today. So I'm really glad to see you, and I'm sure the viewers are also very excited to want to listen to you. I guess we should just go straight to the point and start asking that. So we talk about money. What comes to mind really is savings and everything. But at the end of the day, what do you save? You save, and what do you use it for? So then it begs on you to want to wonder what you want to invest in. However, the question then will be, what is investment to those who may not know? Like, what's an investment?
Okay, so good question, and good evening to our wonderful viewers. So you made an important point. You save and then you invest.
Yeah.
So let me build it up from saving.
From saving.
Yeah, so when we talk about savings, we are basically talking about deferred consumption.
Okay.
Money not spent.
Money not spent.
Yes. So if you have 2,000 Ghana cedis today and you keep it in your room or somewhere for 2 years, that is savings. You've saved that money. It's money you have not spent. But you see, because of what is called the time value of money, if you have that 2,000 cedis and you keep it for 2 years, what you can do with the 2,000 Ghana cedis today, because prices of goods and services will be increasing, you will not be able to do with that 2,000 in 2 years. So it's not enough to save. It's important to save, but it's not enough to save. Beyond savings, you need to invest. So what is investment? When we talk about investment here, then we're talking about committing whatever you have saved into either a business or into a financial asset or a financial security so that it will generate some returns for you. People are very familiar with Treasury bill. So you have these 2,000 Ghana cedis and you say, I'm going to buy Treasury bill.
Treasury bills, yeah.
Exactly. What it means is that you are putting the money in investment. You are effectively giving that money to government for that 91 days or 182 days, and you make some returns on that money. Yeah. So when we talk about investment, we're basically talking about committing your savings or capital into some kind of vehicle or venture that will generate some returns for you. Yeah.
So then anything that rather looks like you keeping money and not using it for any venture that is probably generating more cannot be seen as an investment. No,
that you are saving. But you see, because of inflation, what would happen eventually is you will be losing. Okay. You will still have that amount, but the purchasing power,
what it could have done.
Exactly. The purchasing power would have gone down.
All right. Yeah. So then, in that case, we want to look at becoming independent, which is obviously being financially, should I say, free. What would that mean then, to be financially free?
Yeah, so Nana, when we talk about financial freedom or financial independence, what we are basically talking about is getting to that stage in life where you can sustain your desired lifestyle without salary.
Okay.
Without salary. Getting to that stage in life where you can sustain your desired lifestyle without salary. Let me try to break it down. So, for example, if you need 4,000 cedis a month, just for the purposes of the discussions. So, if you need 4,000 Ghana cedis a month for your desired lifestyle, what it means is within a year, you will need 4,000 multiplied by 12 months. That is 48,000 Ghana cedis. Yeah. Now, if you have investment, we have already defined investment. So, let's say you have investment of 300,000 Ghana cedis. That can generate 20% interest for you. That 20% of the 300,000 is going to be 60,000 a year.
Which is even more than
the 48,000. Exactly. Okay. So here you have committed money that is working and that is bringing returns higher than what you need for your desired lifestyle.
And it has nothing to do with your salary.
It has nothing to do with your salary. So at this point, you can live the life you want to live without salary. And when you are financially independent, it does not mean you don't have to work. It means you don't need to work. There are two different things. You work because you want to work.
Yeah.
You don't work because you need to work.
Okay.
Because if you need to work, if you don't go and hustle, then you cannot pay the rent, you cannot buy the fuel, then you need to work. So when you are financially free or you are financially independent, it does not mean you don't have to work. But you don't need, you choose what you want to do. You can spend your time doing things that are fulfilling, that may not be financially rewarding. So money may not come, but you sleep and you sleep sound because you feel fulfilled. So when we talk about financial independence, that's basically what we mean.
So then I then would wonder, how important is that? To be financially free or financial, how important is this?
Because
does it not make people feel like, oh yeah, I'm done, I don't need anything, so I probably should quit working, stop working? And
I get you, that's a good point. But if it were the case, you won't find Dangote and other people still working. You know, because you get to a point, what drives you goes beyond bread and butter. You get to a point you are not thinking about the school fees and what the children are going to be eating. It becomes bigger than that. Then you are looking at fulfillment. You know, so it's not necessarily the case.
So then, considering having to have some money, you know, especially building the point from the savings part. Now, in our current society, I'm even scared to say that about even 40 to perhaps even more than 40% of people do not earn so much. Most people live from paycheck to, you know what I mean? And so how are people like these going to be financially independent? If I don't know whether they are exempted, they are not part of the discussion, but if they are, then how?
Nana, the discussion is for everybody.
It's for everyone.
Yes, it doesn't matter the plumber, the tailor, the carpenter, even the student.
But see, Paul,
I know, maybe
what is coming is not enough. So how do they put something aside?
Let me ask our viewers an important question, and then I will answer you.
So before you ask, I hope you are listening to Paul. So he has a question for you, and I want to urge you to send your answers and your thoughts also to our WhatsApp platform and all the social media platforms that we have. So the WhatsApp number is 020-2222-054. Answer Paul's question, and I'll also ask you some questions after. Paul, what's the question?
So my question is, if you are watching this show, whether you're a teacher or once you're a worker, if you lost your job today, if you don't have a job from tomorrow, how many months, how many years can you survive without salary?
Oh yeah, it's not my question, it's your question. So I'm waiting for the answer.
It's an very important question. Everybody needs to attempt to answer. And for me, if you are a worker, you must have at least 6 months of income cover. If the worst should happen, you should be able to live your normal life for at least 6 months.
6 months.
So you can reorganize yourself and bounce back. Now, back to your question, the salary is not enough. And I know that the salary is not enough, but it's not an excuse. You see, there is a law in finance called the Parkinson Law. Let me try to break it down so we are not too technical here. So the Parkinson Law simply explains why most people retire poor, even after earning substantial income through their working years. The Parkinson Law states that no matter how much people earn, they will always adjust their lifestyle to match their salary. So as salary is increasing, people are adjusting their lifestyles to match their salary. And you see, I tested this last year in Takwa. So I had a speaking engagement with a big church. And I asked a simple question. How many of you struggle with your salaries? If you know the salary is not enough, let me see by hand. And your guess is as good as mine. All the hands went up.
90%.
Then I followed up with a question. How many of you believe that if your salary is doubled from this very month, you will begin to live a comfortable life? The hands went up. And I said, okay, if you are trusting God for a double salary, I'm going to do something for you. And I'm sure people thought I was going to pray for them or something. So I asked 10 people to step out of the congregation. So I have 10 people stepping out. You know what I did here? And I gave them pieces of paper.
Okay.
And I asked each person to write their current salary for me. Just a current salary. And this is last year, 2019. Among the 10 individuals who had stepped out, the lowest income earner was on a salary of 350 Ghana cedis a month.
Okay.
For some reason, this person believes that if that 350 Ghana a month is doubled, he will begin to live a comfortable life. How much is a double of 350? 700 cedis. But you see, among the 10,
there was another one with 700, eh?
With 1,500.
But that's even more.
Which is 4 times or more than 4 times the 350.
Yeah.
But this guy earning 1,500 says it's not enough. But there was one on a salary of 5K. There was one on 11,000 Ghana cedis. The highest income earner among the 10 individuals, and I'm talking practical, something that happened in Takwa last year. The highest income earner among the 10 of them was on a salary of 20,000 Ghana cedis. The guy earning 350 Ghana cedis says it's not enough. The guy earning 20,000 Ghana cedis says it's not enough.
So how much is enough then? That's interesting.
Yes. So no amount is enough.
Yeah.
From where I sit, and I've seen people who are on a salary of 300 cedis who commit to investing every month. The issue is about culture rather than the salary. I did a seminar for a company last year, I think somewhere around July or so. We discussed financial independence, financial planning. You know what?
Yeah.
Afterwards, a lady came to my office to come and say, he says, look, I was in that seminar. How come I didn't understand these basic things you shared? I want to make a commitment. I want to invest something every month. I said, look, don't overstretch yourself, because sometimes when people listen to some of these discussions, they start, I'm going to invest 80%, 70%. Within 3 months, they degas.
Yeah.
So let's do something that you can sustain into the long term. So let me know, how much can you do a month? We set her up. Guess how much she said she was going to do every month?
How much was that?
12K.
Hold on. 12,000 Ghana cedis.
Yes.
Okay.
And she's done that every month. So the question you ask yourself is that if this lady can commit 12,000 every month, and at the point she came for the discussions, she didn't have investments. So what was she doing? I don't know what the salary is, but what was she doing with all the salary? The issue is not about the salary. The issue is about lifestyle. If you earn 500 cedis today and you tell me it's not enough, don't tell me if it moves to 1,000 Ghana cedis, it's going to be enough.
Yeah.
I give you 3 months, maximum 6 months. You're going to adjust your lifestyle, where you eat, where you shop, and all that is going to change. So the issue is not about the salary. The salary is never going to be enough. So what I recommend is that you learn to pay yourself if you want to become financially independent.
Okay.
So because you see, Nana, whatever we call the salary is not all for you. Once you receive that money, if you live in a rented house, the landlord will take a portion of that salary. Ghana Water, once you turn on the tap, will take part of that money.
But only for these 3 months and come home. The 3 months is not part. So let's be clear that this 3 months is not part.
Once you use electricity, my point is
pay.
that a lot of people work hard, the salary comes,
Yeah.
and they only redistribute.
Okay.
The guy earning 350 Ghana cedis a month was redistributing the 350. But the guy earning 20K a month was also redistributing the 20K. So learn to pay yourself. And I recommend the 10-20-70 principle. 10-20-70. If you believe in tithing like I do, pay your tithe of 10%. If you don't believe in tithing, you can still give that 10% to society. But I recommend for every worker, 20% of your salary must go into an investment towards your financial independence. Minimum 20%. Anybody who can commit to that 20% every month, I give you 15 years, you are going to be sorted. Commit 20% on a consistent basis. And let the landlord and all the other people share the 70%. You know, you will not die. We all sometimes have unplanned expenditures coming our way.
Yeah.
Something you haven't planned and you have to use a substantial part of your income. For some reason, you don't die that month. You survive.
Yeah, you survive.
So when you invest that 20%, you are not going to die.
You will still survive.
You will still survive. So It's an important question you've asked, but the issue is not about the salary. The issue is about commitment, it's about lifestyle, it's about making it a culture. Then you can find the money to invest. 3 things will always hinder you from taking off. 1 is procrastination.
Okay.
People, I'm sure there are a number of people who are watching us either live on TV.
I was actually going to
yes.
ask you about what mindset.
Yes.
And I believe this procrastination comes to answer that bit of it.
Because people are always waiting that it's going to be better tomorrow. So, but you see, tomorrow will never come. Procrastination is the thief of time. In fact, procrastination is the thief of financial independence. As long as you keep looking forward to when the salary is increased, when my children grow, when I marry, when I get a promotion, tomorrow will never come. So procrastination is one of the things you need to deal with.
Yeah.
If you want to become financially independent, then if it must be done, it must be done now and not tomorrow. The second one is excuses. You can always find an excuse why you cannot do it. And excuse number 1 is the salary is not enough. You can always find an excuse why you cannot do it. And the third one is blame, where you blame it's my boss, it's the government, it's my wife, it's my husband, it's my children, it's my parents who didn't provide me support. And as long as you are pointing at another person for your inability to save and then invest and become financially independent, there is no energy to work at the things we are discussing. So look within yourself, take responsibility, take charge, and let's work towards financial independence.
Interesting. So, like I said, I was going to ask you about what mindset, but you seem to have touched on that. And so my next question is, should we set some specific goals, you know, to be able to attain financial freedom?
Okay, so the first thing is that if you want, so I'll talk about goals in general, then I'll narrow down on financial independence. So for me, there are 5 areas I would encourage you to set goals around, financial goals around. 5 areas. Area number 1 is your retirement or old age. Because whether you like it or not, you grow old.
Yeah.
We were all in this country when President Kofi became the president of Ghana. This is 20 years. The year 2000 to now. So time is flying by the minute. So you need to plan for your old age.
Yeah.
So set goals that by the time I retire, if you want early retirement, cool. But if you are going by a regular retirement age of 60, that by the time I'm 60, I want to make so much. Because this thing about, I'm waiting for some pension from Senate, and it's not likely to be enough. Because you see, it's a function of your salary. Unless your salary is extremely high. I was on a show before I came in here, and I was sharing about a man who came to see me somewhere, I think September or so last year, who had worked for 35 years and retired. He was a driver in his company, very energetic. So his plan was that whatever lump sum he gets, he was going to buy a car and drive himself because he's been a driver. The lump sum he got was 10,500 cedis.
You can't even buy an Uber.
It can't even buy an Uber. But you can flip the coin, and there are people who have planned. I took on the man, I think, in 2008 or so. We planned towards retirement. He retired in 2017, December. January 28, he says, Paul, come home, let's have a conversation. So I go home. He had a simple question. The money you have been managing for me over the years, what is the average monthly interest? I took my laptop, did a few calculations. He was making 60,000 a month. 60K a month as interest. This is January 2018. Said, Paul, you know what? If I can make 60K a month from this very month, at the end of every month, pay 30,000 Ghana cedis into my account. 30,000 for what? He said, for my retirement spending. He said, my retirement plan, my retirement goal is to spend 1,000 cedi a day. So the 30,000 is for 30 days.
Okay.
So set goals towards your retirement because you are watching us. You are already at the crossroads. You have a life-changing decision to make. Will you create the retirement that you want, or you take the one that shows up? If you don't create the retirement that you want, you will not like what shows up. So set financial goals towards your retirement. Number two, set goals towards owning your first house. A lot of people make the mistake of confusing dream house with first house. So the first house the young man is attempting to build is a 5-bedroom house, it's a 7-bedroom house. You never go finish.
You know, we joke.
Every money you make will go into that property. And you see the complication is when you live in a rented house and you need to cough money to pay for your rent. And at the same time, you have money locked in bricks and mortar. And it's taking you between 10 and 20 years to complete that house. So don't confuse dream house with the first house. Don't go and build that big house. 3-bedroom house, simple. Yeah. And you see, from where I sit, I do financial planning for a lot of people. The average worker who has a land, who commits to building a 3-bedroom house, can finish within 5 years.
Wow.
Yes. Look, we can have another show just on housing, but you don't need more than 10,000 Ghana cedis to buy enough blocks for that small 3-bedroom house. You don't need more than 10,000 to buy enough cement blocks.
Yeah.
Where you would have challenges will be your foundation and then your roofing. But you see, once you roof it, it's your own house. Whether it is plastered or not plastered, it is your house. Just move in.
Get some nets somewhere and move into somewhere. And
you will sleep sound. So you need to set goals towards owning your first house.
Yeah.
If it is even a chamber and hall you can build, as much as possible, if you want to become financially independent, try to stop paying the rent as quickly as you can.
Yeah.
Because you will keep mobilizing money for a landlord. The third area you need to set goals and financial goals are your children's education. Be deliberate about it, the kind of education you want to give to them. Be deliberate to give them that quality education. The fourth area I encourage you to set goals around is giving back to society. Because life is not just about you and your wife and your children. We haven't learnt it in our part of the world, but it's something we are encouraging people to learn. That give back. Put a smile on the face of somebody unfortunate in the society. So learn to give back to society. Learn to give back to church. Learn to give back to charity. It's important. And the final area you need to set goals, financial goals at, is what I call high life. Set goals to chop some of the money.
Oh, I like the last one.
Yes. Set only then we you suffer every day. You are working there. Some people every day they are planning. So plan. It's important. Plan for these areas, but plan to enjoy life. Plan to take a vacation. We don't know how to do it. You see, if you plan to take a vacation once every year and you plan well and you buy your ticket early, it's so cheap.
Very cheap.
That it's unbelievable. So plan for high life. Chop some of the money. Enjoy it. A number of Ghanaian marriages, the whole marital life is a triangle. They are either in church, work, or home. Church, work, home. Church, work, home. No. Add high life to it. Enjoy life. So plan towards it. So these are 5 areas that I believe are important. In fact, viewers are free to plan for anything that is important to you. If you are a big fan of cars, drive them by plan. It's as simple as that. But these are 5 areas I believe are very important when it comes to planning. But if you're talking about financial independence, normally it's specific. Because you see, we talk about desired lifestyle. For one person, 1,000 Ghana cedis is enough for the desired lifestyle. For another 10,000 is not enough. So that is very specific. You talk to a financial planner and they can help you set targets at what you need to raise to make you financially independent.
All right. I'm sure you've heard it all and we are still in the mess. I'm going to go on my next break. But remember this, the 10, 20, 70. Okay. 10, it's either tithes or to charity, whichever way you want it. 20, save, and then the 70, all the everything that you want to do. Please stay tuned. We'll be back shortly. All right, welcome back. If you're just joining us, we are still in the men's lounge, and we are discussing financial freedom. And I'm here with Paul. He's giving us all the nitty-gritties. I'm learning a lot, especially with the 10-20-70 rule and the fact that 20%, that 20% is very important, because in 15 years, that can give you the freedom that you want to have through your retirement, I'm sure. And so this, I'll take some messages before we proceed. This is coming from Nanama Apia, and Nanama says that let's learn to save, plan, and live a little. Enjoy the money we work for, or others will enjoy the money for us. Nanama, thank you so much.
That's high life.
If you don't enjoy it, some people will enjoy it for you. What does that mean? Oh, you will die. Anyway, Nanama, thank you for your message. So, Paul, let's shoot. So, the next I want to find out from you is, so, how much really will be enough to say that, oh, now I've saved enough, so I don't need to save again? Is there a specific amount?
No, well, I don't think so. I think that it has to do with the individual. Somebody may be saving and be thinking about financial independence. So once they raise up to a point where the return on investment is more than what they need for their desired lifestyle, they are fine. Another person may be saving and may be thinking of not just about themselves, but giving their children some head start in life. You see, it takes a number of people several years to own their first house. So somebody may be thinking that, Charlie, by the time my children are starting life, at least some 2-bedroom or 3-bedroom, they need to start life. I want to make that available. And you see, that will cut off several years of struggling.
Having to hustle for.
Another person may be thinking beyond their children to even grandchildren. The Bible says that a good man leaves an inheritance for his children's children. So another person may not be thinking about just financial independence for himself, but for the children and the generation after them. So this thing about money is very personalized. You need to understand what you want, and financial planners can always help you plan towards what you want.
Okay, before I proceed, I'll take some more messages also coming from our viewers. And so this is coming from, okay, so please add your name next time. Very insightful. I'm out of job, like 3 months. What matter will happen? Well, not sure I can comment on that for now. And so this is also coming from Frank. Frank says, Frank from Takrady. So Frank says, what is the difference between 3-year life investment plan and Treasury bill? What are the benefits of the above? And then the demerits, obviously the disadvantages. You want to talk about it, or we take more messages?
I don't know what he means by 3-year investment plan. Treasury bills are basically giving money to government. So you are investing, but government is borrowing from you, and treasury bills are normally for 3 months or 6 months. When you give money to government for 1 year, we call it treasury note. But you can also do treasury bond, where you give money to government for 3 years, 5 years, 7 years, 10 years, 15 years, 20 years. So periodically you get interest on that money until the period for which you have invested
is exhausted.
So I don't know if he's talking about a 3-year bond. Basically, when you buy bonds, I don't want to be technical, but when you buy bonds, there are bonds that are floating rate or fixed rate.
Fixed rate,
Fixed rate, basically, it's English. The rate is fixed throughout the period. So if you bought a 3-year bond at a fixed rate of 20%,
it stays at 20%.
At 20% for the 3 years. What it means is, within the 3 years, if 91-day treasury bill should go to 25%, you are still getting your 20% for the 3 years. If it should drop, 91-day treasury bill should drop to 10%, you are still getting your 20%. The floating rate is not a fixed rate, so the rate fluctuates, and it's normally pegged to some underlying rate. So for example, you can buy a 3-year floating rate. That is, the rate is based on the 182-day treasury bill rate plus, let's say, 5%. So anytime the 182-day treasury bill, when it's 15, you are getting 20. When it moves to 20, you are getting 25. When it moves to 10, you are getting 15. I'm trying to just break it down to the layman. So that is the difference between the floating rate and the fixed rate. So what are the advantages in the long term or short term? Again, it comes to the individual and what your needs are. So if you came to me, you say, I have money, I want to invest. I won't just take your money, invest. I will ask you questions. What are your investment objectives?
Okay.
Why do you want to invest this money? What is your investment horizon? Are you looking at investing for 6 months, or you are looking at 25 years towards your retirement? The two needs are different.
Yeah.
I will ask for things like your risk tolerance level. Are you an aggressive risk taker, or you are a conservative person? So we ask questions before we advise on what will suit you.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Interesting. So this is also coming from Joe Bentum, and Joe says, "Wow, good evening. Today is my first time watching this program. What you are discussing is very important, but it's not easy, my brothers. I am a driver at, well, I would like to withhold where you work, and I'm struggling to save something for my future. So please keep teaching us how to save. Thank you." Okay. So Joe, just keep on your ears with this, and I'm sure you will learn a lot on how you should be saving. Nana, an average of 5 Ghana cedis a meal, which is equivalent to $1 by 3 is 15 cedis a day. Transportation to work, rent, and utilities for the month hasn't been considered. Now, for purpose of this discussion, let's concentrate on a 1,000 Ghana cedis salary worker and advise how such a person can be financially independent when on retirement. Kuku and Pia. Well, Kuku, if you are listening, Paul told us 10, 20, 70. For a start, let's consider saving the 20% of the 1,000, and the 10, well, to your tithe or to charity, and then the 70, manage it. Make sure you're able to do everything else. Paul, would you add anything?
Yes.
I've just answered it.
You've done very well.
Henceforth,
let me add.
I'm a financial analyst. Okay. Yeah.
You see, your salary must not be equal to your income.
Okay.
They are two different things. It is close to a sin when your salary is the same as your income. Because when your salary is the same as your income, it means that you don't have any other income apart from the salary.
Okay.
Definitely, you must never use your employer's time to be doing side business. But there is nothing wrong with having something on the side that is generating some money.
Okay.
Simple. I mean, the deep freezer you have at home, you can be preparing ice block and be selling. I met somebody who is into chair rentals. He doesn't own a single chair. He's going to see somebody who does chair rentals, negotiated for a discount, says anytime I bring you business, I get this percentage. So he throws his weight about that. He's into rentals. He gets the business, goes to pick from this guy who has the vehicle and everything, and then he walks home. He doesn't put a peswa into this investment. Walks home with a certain percentage of the income.
Yeah.
So, Kuku, the salary is not enough, but don't limit your salary, don't limit your income rather to the salary. Let's be thinking about what else we could do. After I picked an Uber one time, and the Uber driver spoke, I mean, the English was so correct that I decided to engage and probe further. This is a guy who worked with one big company, has a master's degree in statistics, who was on leave. And instead of sleeping at home, he was driving his small car around town, making some money. You know, so I know the salary may not be enough, but let's think about what else we could do to make money. And this will apply to Joe, the driver, as well.
Okay. So this is also coming from Matthew. There are a few other people also asking for your contact. I hope at the end of the day there will be a way to contact you.
They should call into your number or send a WhatsApp and then we'll share with them.
So my advice is that you kindly send your contact rather to ours, and then you'll be contacted definitely. Okay. And this is for Matthew. Matthew, I want to thank your guest for this talk. I am making 1,350 cedis a month. How can I invest some when we don't have access to opportunities? You walk into the bank to inquire about these things, and after them realizing your income, they just advise you to just do normal savings. Please help me.
You see, Nana, I have a product at EDC, the EDC Fixed Income Fund. All you need to start, the minimum you need to start is 50 Ghana cedi.
Okay.
50 Ghana cedi you can start. Once you start with 50 Ghana cedis, anytime you want to add to your investment, the minimum you need is 20 Ghana cedis.
Okay.
So where I sit, I'm an MD of an investment company, but my thinking goes beyond profit and loss.
Yeah.
My thinking is changing lives.
Yeah.
It's about lifting the ordinary driver, teacher, so they can make a fortune and become financially
creating
independent.
that opportunity.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So we struggled when we were setting up the fund. I said reduce the minimum to 50 Ghana cedi. Let the ordinary person on the street be able to come on board.
Yeah.
So if you have 50 Ghana cedis, tomorrow you can start investing. And anytime you want to top up 20 Ghana, and I encourage viewers, if you are not disciplined, also be as you can't hit your account, put a standing order on your account. You know you are paid on a certain date. You are paid on the 28th, for example. Put a standing order for 30th or 29th. So immediately the money hits your account. When I talk about a standing order, I'm talking about an instruction, a standing instruction to your bankers that withdraw or take out this specific amount into this investment product for me. So once the money hits your account, they take it out. Time. And once they've taken it out into investment, you have to manage with what is left.
That's quite clear. That's quite clear. So Paul, how can, or fine, let me just put it this way. You know, there are people who are almost semi-kakra. You know, I mean what I mean. So do you have to be, do you have to live frugally to be able to achieve financial independence? As I say, seem to me a thing to be able to do that,
not necessarily, but you don't have to be wasteful. And you see, when it comes to, so rather I would say that you need to watch your spending habits.
Okay. In
order for you to raise the money towards, I mean, let's talk about 20% we discussed earlier on. You see, Nana, your salary, or rather your income, must dictate what you eat, not your appetite.
Paul.
Nana.
What are you saying about? Na so be person difufu bi pa. Into difufu no.
Once in a while. But it cannot be a lifestyle.
Okay, that's acceptable.
So there is a salary level you can do kimpiski on a daily basis. You can even have your own reserve table on a daily basis with your friends. You may be fine. But there is a salary level you do cocoa with kose. You will also be fine. But there is a salary level you don't even eat in the morning. And upon why I say you're fasting.
Deliberately,
What's breakfast? About 10, 11, one penny do.
For the day.
For the day. So you get some your kogari with 2 sachets of water or kenke. You would travel till the evening. You would also be fine.
And you survive.
You will survive. The biggest challenge in this financial journey, the discussions we are having, is this unhealthy competition. People try to rub shoulders. You know, people are driving cars. Meanwhile, buying fuel is a problem.
They don't know. People don't know.
A car is not an asset. A car just gives you convenience. It helps you move from one place to another. A car is not an asset. And when I talk about asset here, I'm talking about things you put your money in that brings money back to you. If you have a car and you are using it for a business, it's a different thing. I don't take a big loan. You are struggling to pay the loan. You drive for 1 hour, you park the car the whole day. Evening you drive another one. What is the meaning of that? You know, so you need to watch spending habits. So rather than being chiseled, no, watch spending habits. So simple things like even utilities, the way we use light. People leave light on during the day. So you visit people, the fan is on, the TV is on, the air condition is on. There is nobody in the living room.
That is wasteful.
That is wasteful. There are a number of people watching this show today. And you find some plantain, you find some rice in there. That is not food you have thrown away. That is money you have thrown away. So we manage funds. I'm managing about 3.4, 3.5 billion cedis. So we meet wealthy people. Wealthy people are not wasteful. They are not chiseled, but they are not wasteful. They are two different things. So don't be wasteful. Once you are not wasteful, in God's wisdom, we've all been positioned in places that you can save something small. And you need to be overqualified for the current salary, and God will raise you up to the next level.
Okay, Paul, so this is what we're going to do. I'm going to go on the next break. Time is unfortunately not on the side. I'll go on the next break. But before that, when we are back, there's a practical thing I want you to do for me.
Yeah.
So I have 100K.
Yeah.
I want you to help me
Yeah.
tell me what
To
I
do.
can use the 100K
No,
practically
no
to
wahala.
do when we are back.
No wahala.
We'll go on this break. When we are back, we'll continue. If you're just joining us, we are still in the men's lounge. I'm here with Paul. Paul is giving us a lot of tips when it comes to if you want to be financially free, Paul is here to help us. And lots of you are also asking for his contact, but I've asked that you kindly send your contact and you will be contacted immediately after the show or even to first thing tomorrow morning so that you can have your discussion. And so, Paul, before we left,
Yeah.
I wanted to do something practical. So let me repeat it.
Yeah.
I have 100,000.
Yeah.
I want you to take me through what I can do with that 100,000. Okay, and then also I'm going to open the phone line so that we can take direct calls and
Sure.
questions that will come to you direct.
Sure.
So the phone line is open from now. The number is 0555 657278. I repeat, 0555 657278. Paul,
It's a very simple
100,000 sharp. Let's
Yeah, I'll put it in the EDC fixed income fund.
Okay.
Because it's a fund that does not invest in securities, does not invest in equities, my apologies. It's a purely fixed income fund. Per my last check, about 85% of the fund is invested in government-related securities, government and government-related securities. So it's a fund that interest is calculated on a daily basis. And we started this fund in 2012 till date. The fund has always done above the Treasury bill.
Okay.
Average about 3% above the Treasury bill. And you see, you have the convenience of adding money anytime and taking money out anytime you wish. There's no maturity date. So you are not locking up for 3 months or 6 months. If you don't need it, the money is in there. When you need it, you can take it. So I will do the EDC fixed income fund. You can top up with Momo. You can top up with the mobile app. And you can deal in the fixed income fund from any EcoBank branch nationwide, any EcoBank branch. So it's very simple. I'll put the 100K in the EDC fixed income fund.
All in the EDC fixed income fund.
Yeah, because it's already a diversified fund.
Okay.
The concern, and that is the advice, that you don't put all your eggs in one basket.
Okay.
You do diversification, but the fund itself is already diversified. So when you put your 100K in there, you are indirectly investing in a number of securities. So I will do the EDC fixed income fund.
Interesting. So the EDC fixed income fund would be able to deal with most of these things.
It's the biggest fund in Ghana at the moment, about 1.4 billion cedis.
That's
so the biggest investor in the fund has 33 million Ghana cedis.
Okay.
The smallest investor in the fund has 50 Ghana cedi.
Oh, that's the start point.
Yes, but they all get the same interest rate.
Okay.
Because the investment is done collectively for all of them, and interest is calculated on a daily basis. Yeah, based on how much you have in the fund.
Okay, I'm very grateful for this. The lines are open. Please let your calls come in whilst your messages also come in. So this is coming from Abigail. Hi, I'm Abigail. I want to know how I can contact him. Well, I'll have you contacted. And I also want to know if I have an amount of 2,000 Ghana cedis, what kind of investment can I do?
EDC fixed income fund.
The answer is EDC. There's a caller on the line. Hello, caller. Your name and where you're calling from?
Good evening. My name is Samuel. I'm calling from Kumasi.
Hi, Samuel. Let's hear you.
Thank you so much for this wonderful education and enlightenment. I want to ask your guest. I personally want to share an experience. I opened an investment account with one of the investment banks in Kumasi.
Okay.
As a student, I wanted to start up something for myself to make sure I secure a very solid future. Just about 8 months after investing, I received a message and the news went around that the bank had been dissolved. Before going to invest with that bank, I had made inquiries about some other banks too. But then the money they were demanding as their minimum amount was so high that I couldn't afford, even with the top-ups.
Okay.
But that was quite good for me. I don't know if I can disclose the name of the bank.
No, please withhold that for now.
Okay. So just about 8 months afterwards, I had quite invested a lot. So I received the message that the bank had been dissolved.
Okay.
Called the person they gave to me as a customer attendant. Nothing on it. So please ask Mr. Frank for us. In this situation, what do we do?
Many thanks, many thanks. I'm so sure it's not a bank. It's a financial institution,
Yeah.
but it's not a bank. For all the banks that went down, nobody lost money. So I'm so sure it's not a bank, it's a financial institution.
Okay.
That is a very unfortunate case, and I sympathize with him. But the point I would want to make is when you want to invest, you make sure you do some more checks. I mean, I work for EDC, which is part of the EcoBank family.
Okay.
I don't know what will make EcoBank go down tomorrow.
Well, that's quite an interesting statement. And so there's something, I mean, there's a lot more we can be discussing, but it looks like time is
yeah, so those who wanted my contact.
No, I'll give them the contact, but I think we should do this again.
A part two.
I think we should have a part two.
I'm fine with that.
So that we can even bring in the issue about the construction, you know.
Yeah, the building.
It looks like there's just more to it than we thought. There's really more to it than we thought. So there's something we've been doing, and today we probably will do it differently. So on the men's lounge, Yamvita, which is one of the brands that helps us or supports us, does something very special every time we are here. And so what I'm going to give you is for the baby at home. Don't go and eat it. It's for the baby at home. But you have to earn it. You have to earn it, all right? And so I'm going to ask you, let me see, what can I ask you about Yamvita? All right. So I already mentioned it's for a baby. And one of the things... you know what? I just want to give it to you for free.
Thank you.
So this is yours.
Thank you.
And I'll present this to you. I wanted to give you a very difficult question, but let me just present this to you.
Thank you.
This is
Thank you so much.
for you.
Thank you so much.
And we are also very grateful for all the information you have given us today. Make sure I get to Omo.
It will get
Madam is watching.
Definitely.
Let me help you out with it.
Let me put it on the table so viewers can see.
Exactly. So a very big thank you to Yamvita for this wonderful gift. Paul is very happy to accept it. And also thank you to Casapreco Alomo Bitters for helping us to bring you this show this evening. We are hopeful we can do another a part two of it.
Nana, I will try to contact those who have contacted us, but you can also call our contact center. 0302 684165.
Okay.
0302
684165.
0302 634165. 634165 0302. The contact center, you can call the contact, somebody will respond.
All right, so when you wait for your call and it hasn't come, please call the number that Paul has given you. And on this note, we draw the curtains. Next week, we'll come your way with another exciting show. Thank you very much.